Welcome everyone to a special kind of what if. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, this is different from any of your other what ifs. Because I'll tell you something. It's a collaboration. Yeah, that right, you heard me. A collaboration. With Spark Plus Ultra. Unfortunately, he couldn't do this sequel, but I know how to. Either that, or he didn't want to do it. But anyway, I'm willing to do it. So here we go. Part 2 on what if Deku was a gorgosaurus. Here we go. So we start off, how should I put this? Yeah, during school. Deku as the gorgosaurus now due to an incident that happened, 2 days ago. Yeah. Oh, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Spark Plus's channel. Unfortunately, I don't know how to download links or anything, so yeah, I think you have to find that video yourself. Anyway, as Deku is going to UA. Wait, did I say something? No. But let's say he's going to UA and he notices people have been giving him weird looks from the side, and he basically feels a bit worried if people think he's a freak. Yeah, as he notices Oraka, who's now a pterosaur, and a pteranodon to be exact, and she says, "Oh, come on, Deku. Just ignore them. Let's get to school." As Izuku shakes his head and says, "Coming, Oraka." Yeah. As they get to class, the door has changed in height and size. Why? Because I'll tell you I believe in a few minutes. What was I thinking again? As the door opens automatically, just in case of the dinosaurs have small arms or don't have any arms at all, can't open it. As he notices Kirishima, who is now an ankylosaurus, Bakugo Katsuki, who is now a, what I think Spark, as I like to call him, meant to say either a velociraptor the size of a chicken, that would mean it's a Helscaraptor, or if he just mistook the size for a turkey. Yeah, I'm gonna say that turkey. So, yeah. Then he notices Mina, who's now a Dilophosaurus. Denki is now a Spinosaurus. Tsuyu, who's now a Beelzebufo, basically a German Shepherd-sized bullfrog with horns. And there's also the Tail Man, which I keep forgetting the name of, who is now a Stegosaurus. And what else? Oh yeah, Invisible Girl is now an Ionosaurus. And, for purposes, I'm going to say Momo Yaoyorozu is going to be a, Therizinosaurus. Why? Because I picture Therizinosaurus with long black feathers, like a sloth. Anyway, sorry if I sound a bit slow. I'm a bit rusty to this collaboration. What if? So yeah, as Izuku is shocked to see, like, more of his class members have been turned into dinosaurs. No, scratch that. He knows that they've been turned into dinosaurs. It's a couple of weeks late. No, wait, 2 days later, yeah. Yeah, but he's surprised about, like, how Class 1A has adapted to its, new class members' forms. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Sugar Rush guy is now a Supersaurus. Pray to God he doesn't crush the classroom. Anyway, so as Izuku takes his new cushioned seat, because let's say, since they're not adapted to chairs, they have to sit on the floor, which is very rough. So they have to sit on cushions. Yeah. As they're waiting for Aizawa, and they notice that he's in his, sleeping bag, as I like to call it, caterpillar cocoon. So Izuku gets back up and tugs it at the, where the feet are supposed to be. And Aizawa just, pokes his hand out and slaps it on the nose, causing Izuku to basically growl a bit at him, but then shake his head and say, oh, Aizawa-sensei, sorry if I hurt you. We were just waiting until Aizawa says, Shut. I'm waking up. As he basically gets up and tells Izuku to go back to sit down. As he says, "Good morning, class. I am now aware that you are all giant lizard creatures. Asui appears to be just a giant frog. Looks like we got a new class member today. Who is this one-horned dinosaur?" As this one-horned dinosaur says, "Aizawa, it's me, remember? Oh, you. Invisible girl, of course." As he basically goes to explain how they'll be training for the day with their new forms to see what they can do. Yeah. And so, yeah. That's what they do. So they get ready, basically doing stretches, of course, just in case if they need to do some running, which they need to. Oh yeah, I forgot about Tenya Ida. Yeah, in this, he's now a Triceratops. Don't ask me why, ask Sparks. Okay? Anyway, so they get to the UA training field thing, yeah, where Aizawa decides to pull up some different tests which are available by their limitations. He starts out with Bakugo because he just wants to see the cocky show off, try his best and fail, because he wants to have a good laugh. As Aizawa says, "Alright, Katsuki, you're gonna need to take down that test dummy." As Katsuki says, This will be a piece of cake. As Katsuki runs over and leaps onto the dummy and tries biting it and scratching it, but he only bounces back off and tumbles down. Aizawa bursting in laughter and says, "Oh, I can't believe I ever had a laugh like that since I was your age." Anyway, next, as basically Ida comes around, as he says, Tenya Ida, former fastest of the class, now reformed to giant land pitchfork. As Ida says, "Easy for you to say. My glasses are gone, and I'm practically blind with them." As Aizawa says, "Well then," as he pulls out a red cape, because he wants to try out something, as he says, "Toro, Toro," causing Ida to basically charge at it for unknown reasons. Other than I just wanted to imagine a bullfighter, instead of fighting a bull, a triceratops. Why? Because I think that would be cool. Yeah, so Aizawa says, "Alright, Ida, I'm going to use this red cape, and you're going to try to hit me. I'll use my scarf if you come near me, and then I'll jump over you." As basically that happens, Aizawa continues to dodge, until at one point, for the 10th try, Ida charges at him, and Aizawa tries dodging, but Ida well, I'm gonna tell you a fun fact. A Triceratops' skull is practically adapted to be like nature's perfect spear. So, Ida turns his head, causing Aizawa to flip over and land on his back hard, causing him to give him a slight bad back. But as Ida saw this, he says, "I am so sorry, Sensei. I don't know what came over me. Are you okay?" As Aizawa says, "Yeah, totally fine. Alright. Mina," as Mina comes over as the Dilophosaurus, if you remember. As she says, "Yo." As Aizawa pulls up a huge piece of metal, and he says, "I need you to test if you kept your, acid. Go." As Mina basically spits out the acid, and it's strong enough to corrode metal. As he basically says, "Okay, pass." Next, as basically it goes past like Asawi with a jump test and a tongue test, which is weird, but how far can the tongue go? And so on and so forth until it comes to Izuku. And unbeknownst to them, All Might, and in this story he's a Tarbosaurus because Spark plus Ultra thought, why not? As All Might thinks in his head, since young Midoriya does not have a quirk, Aizawa should not pull dirty tricks. And as Izuku is a bit nervous with the test, as as Aizawa basically tells the invisible girl to come over, and he says, Prom child, you're gonna be fighting these three-horned students. And we're gonna test how strong your bite force is with this detector thing. Somebody gave me to it once. I think it was the support group thing. I don't know. It basically tells how strong you are, any part of the body, except for the lower region. It's gross. As Izuku's nervous at this, and he says, "Okay, Sensei, whatever you do." As basically, first off is the invisible girl. As they basically clash, Izuku wipes the floor with her, basically grabbing her by the leg and flinging her. Basically, just not finishing her off, unless you get an other mind of finishing off. No. Along the lines of, like, okay, I'm out, who's next? Like that out. But anyway, next was Ida's turn. And this time, Ida did not hold back. As Izuku came in for the clash, Ida, charged at him, causing Izuku to flip over. And he, flipped onto his legs. And, Ida kept tripping him over while Izuku tried to bite him. But until something happened. Something strange. As Izuku was being attacked by Ida, fire by training, because I don't want you thinking that he was attacking Izuku out of spite. No. Just train. But, Izuku all of a sudden bit Ida on the frill, flinged him across. As Ida tried to get back up and say, "Okay, I'm out," Izuku grabbed him by the leg and dragged him closer. As Ida says, Whoa, Midoriya, get off, it's over." As the only thing Ida saw in Izuku's eyes was, how could I put this? Something that is a bit scary, but not too scary, as in a horror movie. You know, I'm gonna say it. He only saw, evil. Well, not evil, but, bloodlust. As Ida said, "Midoriya?" As Izuku bit down on Ida's neck, growling, as Ida was choking due to the pressure of Izuku's jaws. Aizawa noticed this, and he used his scarves to, try to pull Izuku back. Yeah. Ida, bleeding heavily from the frill, a bit of the neck, and of course the leg, and Izuku's jaws being pried open by the scarf to make sure he doesn't try doing anything again. As Izuku hears a voice say, "Deku, stop!" He looks over and it's Oraka with a worried expression on her face. Well, in her eyes. Unfortunately, a Pteranodon beak doesn't allow much expression other than in the eyes. As Izuku snaps out of it and says, "What happened?" As Aizawa said, what happened is that you tried killing Ira. As Izuku says, what? I don't remember that. The only thing I remember is being tripped over by Ida. As he looks over to see Ida with basically a broken leg, a hole through his throat, and a bleeding neck. As he feels very, very sorry. As he says, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And then Aizawa says, you better control that side of yours, or you're not going to be a hero. You got it? As Izuku's taken aback at this, and he goes with the rest of the class. Head hanging low, tail drooping down. Yeah. As basically the day goes past like a typical school day. Ida getting a cast on his leg, bandages on his neck and frill. You know, quote unquote, no harm done. Izuku goes back home to his mother, who is now a gorgosaurus as well. For some reason, Spark said that Izumi, I think, but maybe that was an accident, yeah. So yeah, Inko's now a gorgosaurus, but yeah, they're doing okay. As they're eating dinner, Izuku mentions that one thing happened in school. Inko says, oh really, what happened? You sound upset. And he basically explained how he attacked Ida to the point of breaking his leg. And he had no, clue of it. As Inko says, oh no. Well, if you did say you had no clue of it, maybe it was an accident. As Izuku gets a flashback of what Ida looked like with the broken leg, and he said, yeah, an accident. But let's zoom out from the heroes. Let's zoom in on another group of people. We start out with a guy, just a random dude, no one important, as he's walking down the street, and he almost gonna pass an alley before he hears a dog. As he turns around the corner and sees the dog eating from the rubbish. As he says, "Aww, are you okay, little guy? Who wants to play? Guess what? Wanna come with me? I could be your new owner." As this quote-unquote dog looks over and starts growling. And the guy is now in the middle of the alleyway. And so he starts backing up until, he realizes this ain't no dog. It's some sort of wolf. You could probably guess what this is. But then he hears a cat-like growl behind him. And not a house cat. I'm talking about a lion or a tiger. He turns around to see a cat-like beast with saber teeth and what appears to be scars along its face and shoulders. As this duo basically kills the man, as the man cries out for help, only to be blocked by, blood curdling. As the wolf and saber-toothed cat drag the body back, as the saber-toothed cat says, Nice work, Dobby. You got another meal. As Dobby, who is now a dire wolf but the problem is dire wolves are not really wolves, is not what we now know, but I'm going to call it dire wolf anyway, because that's what the popular name is. So yeah. As Dobby says, yeah, go ahead. As Shigaraki, who is the Smilodon, aka Super Cat, who is basically giving it off a bruh face. Yeah. But they hear someone say, "Oh, I really hope there's still some blood left in him." As they see a huge bat fly overhead and land on a light. And they say, "Toga, quit it. Ever since you became a giant vampire bat, you've been craving blood more than ever." Yeah, and before you ask, hey, those things didn't exist, right? They did. And they were scary. Well, not really, but to people back then, they were. Vampire bats as big as hawks. But anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. As Twice is now a Deodon, aka a hell pig, as he says, "Oh, come on, there's no need to be like that. Yeah, you're right. You do have craved too much blood now, Toga." And, well, the lizard guy, you know, the guy that looks like Stain, but a lizard, yeah, let's say he's now a Megalania. As everyone starts arguing with each other until they hear silence, as they all look at a dark space in the room or an alleyway, as they see two long hairy arms come out, and the voice starts saying, "I've been having a plan with the heroes, but we can surprise anyone as these creatures." As a face pops out, and it looks like an orangutan's, but meaner. As All For One, the blinded, well, Gigantopithecus, comes out and says, as these will be unstoppable. "What about the heroes, Master?" Shigaraki would say, as, well, All For One would say, "No matter, we'll kill them all, one by one, and I'll let you have the scraps. Some strange reason I don't like eating meat anymore." As Shigaraki says, "I like that plan, Master." Yeah. As basically he noticed Dobby basically chasing his tail. As he says, "Dobby, you idiot, focus!" Whacking him on the head and says, sorry. As All For One basically says, "Tonight, we're gonna storm UA." Well, scratch that. As everyone perks their ears up to listen. "Tonight, we're gonna break into UA. But we're not gonna attack anyone. We're gonna see who can we attack. And yeah. Later that night, I'm gonna say Zuko, after going home and getting his last meal from his house, he goes back to UA and, sleeps there in his dorm. But let's say the villains have no clue that the heroes turn into something better than prehistoric mammals. Well, minus the Megalania one. Because I find them pretty cool. Anyway. Yeah. As Dabi, Shigaraki, Toga, not twice, because with hooves and breathing like a pig ain't gonna help sneaking around. But with creatures like with paws or ones that can fly and silently, they have a better advantage. And so Shigaraki climbs over the fence, well, not fence, but wall, using his claws and disabling the doors, and says, "Okay, we're in." As Dabi, Shigaraki, and Toga go into UA, and they're trying to find Class 1A students. And Toga, just for fun, tries to find Deku to see if she can, quote-unquote, get some blood. Boy, it ain't gonna end well. Yeah. As Dabi and Shigaraki are wandering the halls, Dabi using his nose to sniff his way, finding new rooms with bigger doors. They open each and every one of them. Well, some of them automatically open to show sleeping dinosaurs, and with names on the doors, shocking them that they're the students. But finally, there's one. Oraka, who is now the pterosaur, aka Pteranodon. As Dabi says. Okay, last one is as they hear the screams of Toga that sound like loud bat screams. As Shigaraki's like, what happened to her now? As we go back with Toga, who has found Deku sleeping. Now Gorgosaurus, she doesn't care, she only wants blood. And yeah, she flies in on his neck, tries to bite, but the skin is too tough. But it feels a slight pinch for Izuku, waking him up all of a sudden. And let's just say, his primal instincts have taken over. There's no humanity in him at the time. As Toga says, "Oh, hey, Deku, I am so dead." As she's basically being chased around by him, and him snapping his jaws towards her, until Shigaraki and Dabi, Dabi, yes, sorry, slam the door open to only see their friend. Basically, the only thing that's left of her is a wing inside a dinosaur's mouth. As Dobby says, "Why you?" As Shigaraki says, "That's enough. This is a fight we can't win." Dobby looks at this, T-Rex-like creature, but with, eyebrows for days. As he says, "Fine. But we need to be careful with him." All of them. As they close the door and, Izuku goes back to sleep. Finally finishing off his meal. The villains go back to the alleyway, aka their base. As Twice and the lizard dude, along with Awful One, say, "Oh, Shigaraki, Dobby, you're back. Where's Toga?" As Twice says, "Yeah, where is Toga? Where is she? Is she okay? Oh my goodness. I'm worried. Until Shigaraki says, "She got eaten, okay?" Basically covering his mouth with his quote-unquote hands, aka paws. Why? Because, no doink, he's now a saber-toothed cat with paws. As this shocks Twice, as he says, "Who killed him?" Oopsie. As basically Dobby is all like, "Okay, that green light in the sky must have done something to you. You're kind of stupid now." As Twice says, "You want to talk? You're the one that was chasing your tail and sniffing your own butt." As, Dobby puts his ears down and starts whining like a puppy. As Twice says, "That's what I thought. Anyway, who killed her? Tell me. I'll find him." As Awful One says, "Silence. We've lost a member tonight. From now on, we only attack at night." Shigaraki. Huh? Who's the one that killed her? Shigaraki replies with, "It's that brat. The one messing with our plans. All Might's little successor." As Awful One begins to grin maniacally and laugh. As he says, "Oh, he's our main target. No one else is. Understood?" Understood. Yeah. As Shigaraki turns around to see Dobby chasing his tail again and says, "Will you stop that?" As Dobby just, freezes all of a sudden and says, I will, I'm sorry." Yeah. As Awful One says, "You'll want to talk." As Shigaraki says, "What do you mean?" Then all of a sudden, Awful One pulls out a laser pointer and pushes the button, and, Shigaraki starts chasing the light. I don't know why I wanted to end the episode off on scary villains as funny characters, but why not? I want to bring some joy to the world. Anyway, this is the end of this part. Make sure to like and subscribe. One more, hit the bell notification to be notified for more videos. Anyways, bye-bye. I don't know why I just said that.